In 1819, Brooklyn was nothing more than a quiet, rural outpost, a series of dirt paths and wooden cottages scattered across a pastoral landscape. Just 60 years later, the village had been completely overwritten by a high-density urban grid, exploding into America's third-largest city with over 600,000 residents. Welcome to Binary BC, your portal into the neural reconstruction of lost history. Subscribe to Binary BC now to witness the industrial and architectural evolution of the world's most famous boroughs in stunning high definition. Our data stream begins in 1819. This is Brooklyn before the arrival of the modern metropolis. Through our AI lens, we see a landscape that would be unrecognizable to a modern New Yorker. Unpaved roads, scattered farmhouses, and a population of only a few hundred people. Children play in the snow while horse-drawn sleds move through quiet streets. Across the East River, the silhouette of Manhattan is visible, but in 1819, it might as well be another planet. Brooklyn is still a world of small workshops and families living off the land, completely unaware that a massive urban expansion is about to be triggered. By the 1830s, the system undergoes a massive upgrade. Our sensors shift to Williamsburg, the northern sector of Brooklyn, which is rapidly transforming into an industrial powerhouse. Irish, German, and Austrian entrepreneurs are flooding the area, purchasing land, and erecting the factories that will define the city's economic future. Elite figures like Commodore Vanderbilt and railroad tycoon James Fisk begin building massive mansions here, signaling that wealth is moving across the river. The waterfront is now a bustling data hub of ships and cargo, and the quiet farmland of just 10 years ago has been deleted, replaced by a booming industrial town. Subscribe to Binary BC as we track this relentless momentum. By 1851, the Reconstruction reveals a city in its prime. Brooklyn Heights now dominates the waterfront, its skyline punctuated by church steeples that serve as the landmarks of every neighborhood. The docks are a dense forest of masts, hosting sailing ships from every corner of the globe. Row houses now line the streets in a mathematical grid that stretches as far as the eye can see. Brooklyn has reached a critical mass of 130,000 residents, making it one of the largest and most influential cities in the United States. In just 3 decades, the sleepy village has been totally reformatted into an industrial giant. The primary connection to the outside world remains the East River Ferry. Steam-powered boats now shuttle thousands of workers, merchants, and families across the water every few minutes. While this route has technically existed since 1642 as a rowboat service, the 1850s version is a high-frequency steam engine operation. Even though Brooklyn and New York City remain legally separate entities at this time, these ferries have effectively merged them into a single economic unit. Our AI now renders a pivotal moment in 1864, during the height of the Civil War. At Knickerbocker Hall, Brooklyn hosts a massive sanitary fair to raise funds for wounded Union soldiers. The hall is draped in American flags, and women in elaborate hoop skirts move through the crowded tables. This wasn't just a charity event. It was a demonstration of Brooklyn's massive accumulated wealth and its commitment to the national cause. The city had grown from a humble outpost into a financial titan, capable of funding the medical needs of an entire army. By 1879, the transformation is nearly complete. Brooklyn's population has surged towards 600,000, and the city's grid system has expanded for miles into the interior. In the foreground of our reconstruction, we see the most significant engineering project in the world, the Brooklyn Bridge. After 14 years of labor and the loss of 27 lives, including the original designer, John Roebling, the Gothic towers now rise 276 feet above the East River. It is a massive steel and stone data link about to connect the two cities permanently. May 24, 1883, marks the day the bridge finally boots up. President Chester Arthur leads the opening ceremony as thousands of citizens crowd the streets to witness the longest suspension bridge in history. Steel cables stretch across the sky, allowing pedestrians and horse-drawn carriages to bypass the ferries for the first time. The bridge didn't just link two banks, it unified two worlds. Subscribe to Binary BC as we render the chaos of that opening day, where thousands of people walked from Brooklyn to Manhattan and back again, testing the limits of this new $15 million infrastructure. By 1905, the bridge has become a seamless part of the urban operating system. Men in suits and bowler hats walk the elevated promenade as a daily routine, while the Manhattan skyline begins its own vertical ascent in the distance. The bridge is no longer a miracle of engineering. It is a vital commuter route, a shortcut that has made the distinction between the two cities obsolete. Further south, we render the Culver Depot at Coney Island. Electric trolley tracks and elevated railways now bring tens of thousands of people to the beaches every weekend. Brooklyn is no longer just a place of factories and labor. It has pioneered the concept of public leisure. Working-class families take the train to the coast to escape the summer heat, creating the playground of America. We pause our reconstruction in 1874 to look at the Fulton Ferry House. For generations, this building was the primary gateway into Brooklyn, serving thousands of commuters daily. But our AI highlights the Gothic tower of the Brooklyn Bridge rising directly behind it, a symbol of the ferry's approaching obsolescence. Once the bridge opened, ferry traffic plummeted, and while the building survived until 1926, it was a legacy system in a world moving toward high-speed bridges and subways. Finally, we arrive in 1949. Post-war Brooklyn is attempting to balance its industrial past with a new residential future. The Brooklyn Heights Promenade now provides a scenic view of the Manhattan skyline, built over the rail yards and docks that once handled the city's heavy cargo. The Brooklyn and Manhattan bridges now span the river like twin data cables. The city is shifting its code once again, moving away from the factories of the 19th century and toward the vibrant, diverse neighborhoods that define the borough today. Brooklyn's journey from a handful of wooden houses to a global urban icon is a testament to the power of transformation. If you want to see more lost cities and historical grids brought back to life through the power of AI, subscribe to Binary BC. Tell us in the comments which city we should reconstruct next. This is Binary BC, where the past is always being updated. Stay tuned for the next data stream.